of the T20 the other day, and Zazai in particular, 74 in the first game and 82 in the second. Obviously a bit more circumspect, you have a lot more time in him in a 50 over game. Zazai showed some intent early on, but Ireland were quite happy to see the back of him, considering what he put them through the other days.
Yes, certainly speaking to Phil Simmons and John Mooney, they acknowledge the fact that they're terrific boundary hitters. They enjoy hitting 4s and 6s. But when you look at the nature of today's innings, in between the boundaries, they've struggled a little bit to rotate the strike. Lots of dot balls, high percentage of dot balls. And Ireland will be looking to create that pressure. Maybe that's perhaps the Afghanistanis' Achilles heel. But we'll judge that when both teams have batted on the pitch. It might just be it's a little slow and a little bit hard to rotate the strike.
Just trying to give himself a little room there. Frustrated by the field positions of Ireland, are you, Kyle?
Yes, I am. I have to say, if I was the bowler here, I want to bowl as much as I can at the new batsman. He's a left-hander. It's ideal for me as an off-spinner. Yet we're very defensive. Too easy to let him off strike. An easy single to cover. An easy single down the ground. Oh! Make the batsman take that risk early in his innings. Because you know Gulrahman's been in. He's in for 51 balls, albeit he's not doing a tremendous amount of damage at the moment. But if you're the new man,
big appeal. Are not impressed. That ends the 20th over. Afghanistan 83 for 3.
Hello, Ali. Base. One day other kana. Kana? Leading age was Madadir Khestara Wano Ramacha.
83 for 3 at the end of 20.
here's a little look at the big shot at the end of the last over.
Sanga.
Very close. Might just have got the benefit of being outside the line, but very close with the shot.
Say when.
Very close, all right, Kyle. Big shout from both the bowler and the wicketkeeper Niall O'Brien. They were absolutely convinced. They didn't convince the umpire enough.
CPL wala am gatala ho. Dega wala am gatala ho chanu meda.
It's a batter's game, John. You have a little look at umpire Hawthorne.
England wala am gatala ho kana. England and Australia wala.
That's just umpire's call. Giving the benefit of the doubt to the batsman. Vociferous appeal from both Niall O'Brien and Andy McBride.
Batter's game, eh? Spoken like a bowler.
It's a batsman's game, John. We all know that.
Down.
Oh, what Afghanistan seem to be doing in the last couple of overs is just trying to work the ball around the field, pick up the ones as they can, because he did mention that there's too many dot balls from their point of view. But now they're just keeping this scoreboard ticking over, and that's good cricket.
Yeah, I suppose a concerning thing from an Irish point of view, there's offering a little bit of spin there for Andy McBride. He got that last the LBW shot just to turn enough. But for me, I want to see this fella here put under pressure. I don't like this gap at cover. It just allows him to open the blade and drop it with the spin.
Field. They're going to run through for at least 2, perhaps 3. Oh, there's a slip at this end, but no problem for Afghanistan to run through 3 there. Tim Murtagh with the fielding. That's not great fielding by Peter Chase. And Ireland be guilty of couple of those, and even the ever-reliable William Porterfield let one slip through his hands as well. These are important runs to be giving away at this juncture of the game, coming up to the midway point of the Afghanistan innings. Don't forget, Ireland won the toss, put Afghanistan into bat. Afghanistan just working the singles at the moment. 6 from this one so far. And they're not really putting the new batsman under any real pressure at all.
Better.
Exactly where he wanted to place it, but brings up the end of the 21st over, 90 for 3. Afghanistan put into bat, and it's 90 for 3. Howie Shah and Alan Lewis.
Yeah, we were at the back of the comms box there, Oase, and listening to a frustrated Kyle McCallan, which I would tend to agree with. Your thoughts?
Yeah, look, Kyle felt like perhaps the mid-off-fielder should be up to the right-hander, which I can sort of, I do agree with him. I mean, Ireland are bowling well. They've kept a lid on things. They haven't allowed Afghanistan to run away. They haven't allowed Afghanistan to run away with the game. So it's a great opportunity to keep squeezing, keep trying to get as many dot balls as you can. And it's not nice to just allow the batsman just get that easy single.
There's a good example. Ball just sitting up, slow turn, ease to the offside. Ireland should be looking to bring as many of these batsmen forward as they can. There is a bit of turn there, which, from the point of view of what Ireland are going to have to face with Rashid and Mujib, it's going to be potentially a tough day at the office for them.
Yeah, like that delivery just then. I think as Carl's frustration, what I got out of that was basically a good ball shouldn't be going for ones. I mean, the ball before that ball was a bit of a short ball, got cut for one, that's fine. But you got to be trying to bowl as many dot balls as you can in this situation where Afghanistan seem to be quite happily sitting in. You know, they're not really trying to get after the bowling. They're not really trying to look for boundaries, as it looks like they're more interested in trying to get ones rather than look for a boundary and then go, oh, well, this is a good ball. I'm going to see if I can maneuver it into a gap for a single. So Ireland got the upper hand here and really think they should ram home the advantage.
Couldn't agree with you more, Oase. And it's wickets that is your biggest run saver in these 50-over games. And again, bowling to a left-hander, that's much better from Andrew McBride. Brings us to the end of the 22nd. Afghanistan 92 for 3. Kyle McCallan still very agitated at the back of the box with the negative attitude of bowler and maybe captain here. And again, probably could have been one there. Oase, non-striker, not really on his toes.
It's been an interesting approach by Afghanistan. They're not interested in looking to hit for boundaries. All they want to seem to do is hit the ball into gap and just trying to get a single, which is fine in the middle overs. But you still want to be trying to hit boundaries. And then, if the ball is not there to be hit for a boundary, that's when you decide to get a single. And I think that's where they're going wrong. Perhaps Afghanistan have spoken about, in their team meetings, about rotating strike, which is correct. Trying to get as many singles as you can, which is again correct. But you also got to think about hitting boundaries in the middle overs. If you're going to put a substantial total in front of Ireland, you've got to make sure those boundaries are still coming, even when the field is spread out.
Again, poor piece of fielding there from Ireland. Ireland's fielding has been sloppy at best today, and it's just lacked that little bit of energy. And again, probably certain members aren't as athletic as others. You motioned to that away when we were at the back of the bench, and that's just an example. Just sloppy fielding there. These are the sorts of things you need to be mopping up.
Yeah, modern day cricket needs cricketers now. We just have a quick look at all of the chances, some of the sloppy fielding, diving over. Don't think that'll best please the captain. Certain balls should have been stopped there, especially at this standard of cricket.
That's better from Simi Singh, varying his pace, bringing the left-hander forward.
Look, I know as a former player, I know it's tough conditions. It is very cold, it's very windy. I know it's not easy, but you're a professional cricketer and you've got a job to do. You've got to put your... Afghanistan are 95 for 3 at the end of 23 overs.
There we have it. Afghanistan 95 for 3 after 23. And we've also got a change in bowling with Boyd Rankin replacing Andrew McBride.
Missing Andy McBride for Ireland, number 30, Boyd Rankin.
Yeah, I don't mind that move. I don't mind that at all. I think trying to use perhaps Boydo in short bursts. Perhaps maybe I would give him another... I'll probably just give him 2 overs here, see if he can get me a wicket, really run in hard, crank it up, trying to intimidate the batsman. Like I mentioned earlier this morning, Afghanistan wouldn't come across too many bowlers like Boyd Rankin. He's got pace, he's got bounce, and he should really use this. And if I was William Porterfield, I'd be saying, you've got 12 balls, I want you to run in and get me a wicket.
Couldn't agree with you more, Awais, and that's going to be the telling piece to see. I think when Boyd Rankin does that, and you know, he can hit the deck hard, there's no doubt about that, but that's what a skipper will want here for sure. And from an Irish perspective, let's hope it happens.
Yes.
Neatly worked into the leg side. Just a single. But I would like to see a few more attacking positions here for Boyd Rankin. Perhaps a short leg or maybe a backward short leg. Maybe a gully. I know they've got a slip in. But the way their body language is, Afghanistan, they're not looking to attack Ireland. And with that in mind, I would definitely put my premier fast bowler on now and I would try and attack him. I want 2 wickets in the next couple of overs.
Again, couldn't agree with you more. You got in ahead of me there, Awais. I would love to see short leg in there. Someone in more a squarish gully position, where particularly to the left-hander. You know, we've seen how uncomfortable with the ball up around that chest area close to them, and these are the ebbs and flows of ODI cricket, which you don't get in T20. And there you can see, it's another example. Whilst it was tucked away, it wasn't tucked away with a degree of comfort. And this defensive type nature to things it's kind of like an inertia. It's just drifting along. I'd love to see, as you quite rightly said, always things happening. Force the batsman to think something different.
Yeah, I would like the field to be a bit squarer. I think William Porterfield could probably afford to get this fielders that little bit squarer. They know the lengths Boyd Rankin bowls. It's going to be generally back of a length, so he's not going to get driven down the ground to mid-off and mid-on. He can afford to have both the mid-on and mid-off, and his extra cover a lot squarer.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you go with 7-2? We've got a sweeper on the offside. You know, it's a waste. Get someone in from the leg side, get them across. Like, you can't ask more of the bowler there. Awais, he's doing exactly what you spoke about. You know, and one piece of misjudgment, and you've got a chance.
Yeah, it's an interesting move, isn't it? I mean, with an outsider looking in, it looks like William Porterfield is trying to attack with his premier fast bowler back in, yet he's got a relatively defensive field apart from a slip.
Well, with this field and the way he's bowling, I can't see even possibly mid-on getting, so we've got fine leg. But do without fine leg. Bring your deep backward square a bit finer if you want to. But maybe just get 7 on the offside. Do something different. It's been a good over from Boyd Rankin so far. Again, they're veering onto leg stump. That brings us to the end of the 24th. Afghanistan 98 for 3. So Singh to continue. And Afghani supporters drifting into the ground as they did in Breedy. Always very colourful Afghan supporters. And very exciting team to watch. And Ireland and of course Afghanistan gaining test match status, playing their first test matches. One in India and of course Ireland against Pakistan in Ireland. That's a better line from Singh. Big secret here for Singh is to make sure he brings both Afghani batsmen forward. The turn that is there is slow, so just vary that pace a wee bit. Get the Afghani batsman coming to you.
Yeah, Wilson, can you? Brilliant effort.
Yeah, the Afghanistani batsmen are still just happy knocking the ball for singles, and you can see body language. They're not really hustling through for their singles, trying to put pressure on the fielders. And it's all, I think, driven by how they're thinking. They're just looking to play safe cricket.
Yep.
A good length ball is blocked. They're not looking to hit the ones, which is very, sorry, not looking to hit boundaries. And all they're interested in looking to do is get singles, which is great. But
Oh, yes.
they're not able to put pressure back on Ireland, which is very important at this key stage of the game.
تاسو ته ولا بیکارو ولا والفا دمسری ورکو لیک ته
درجه برسمن دی سپینر دی
کم
چې بالنګ کوي
سپینر دی انډین دی سیمی
Completes. Sings overs, brings us to the halfway stage. Afghanistan 100 for 3.
Single brings up the 100 for Afghanistan from exactly 25 overs. 100 for 3 from 25.
نه ولې
ریکارډ یو ګول ریکارډ
پس کې
PL کې
د سټډیز دي کې څه چلی وګو
دا وکټي واغسته ته یې بالي کړیو یا به رنگ نو ور کړه 24 بال باندې خيري بال چلو راوړو چې یو رنگ باندې
یو
کریس ګيلي په اول بال یو
So there we are. No surprise. Those rankings. Afghanistan sitting proudly in 10th, and of course, after the qualification process, went to the World Cup after an inauspicious beginning, extraordinary beginning, but got there in the end. And Ireland in 12th and not going to the World Cup.
دا سړی چې شریک دا کوم زمانه دی دا هغه دی کنه
And again, another example of Ace. Just doesn't really look that comfortable, and again, get someone from the leg side over on the offside into a squarish gully position. Bring McBride a little bit finer. Cut off that get out of jail shot.
Managed to seal a single there. Yeah, I agree. Boys ranking bowling a very good line in length. And the batsmen are just literally trying to survive, as it looks like. They're trying to steal the odd single, trying to deflect the ball off their body, trying to get it in the gap somewhere, but that's all they're able to do. Boyd Rankin is bowling really well, but like you said, mentioned, perhaps it could be field placings. Could be that little bit more attacking.
Well, it was quite interesting. Having done the pitch report earlier, I thought, you might have a tricky 10-over spell, but, I've been to Stormont long enough. There's not a huge amount that happens, and it was interesting. Met Phil Simmons there at the break. They would have looked to have batted. Just shows you the difference of attitude.
Another dot ball for Boyd Ranking. He's bowled very well. I think the length he's bowled, he's nearly got a wicket there. Yes, as I try to get after him, but Boyd Rankin's been really bowling really well today. He's bowled that back of a length, good pace, cramped a lot of their batters up. Was rewarded by Zaziz's wicket early on in the spell.
And you sense Mulbidin was waiting for that. And rocked onto the back foot and eased it through mid-wicket for 4. Very good shot.
Well, swatted away off the front foot. Finally a boundary. Haven't had a boundary for a while. Boyd Rankin perhaps just getting a little bit predictable, little bit too short. Gulrahman's been in for a while now. Managed to swat it away to deep mid-wicket for 4 runs.
The game plan is
that's the end of the 26th. Afghanistan 105 for 3.
Tripan patni show wala khamsa chawo. This 27 45
Decadly.
Na patni 27 45.
This will be easy.
They will be की रखी करी है। 71 बाल लगा 70 बाल।
शनिवार है किसने?
हाँ। ना शनिवार नहीं था।
दबे खुद बैठी ज़रा इनसे कमज़ोर है।
असगर दे, शपक दे, नबी दे।
Another part of the story, as I said earlier, really, Afghanistan haven't pushed that little bit of dominance. Afghanistan Singh to continue. Again, no real urgency here about what Afghanistan are doing. Big space between backward point and extra cover, and on the leg side.
Yeah, urgency is exactly the word I was going to use. Mind you, we managed to see that their shot there by Shahidi. Used his feet beautifully, got to the pitch of the ball and opened the face on contact. Manages to get that ball just over extra cover for 2 runs, and that's exactly what we're after. You need to put pressure back onto the bowler. You've got to have urgency in your batting, especially in the middle overs of a one-day game. You can't afford to just pat the ball back and say, well, okay, that's a good ball, I'm going to block it. You can't afford to do that. You have to create a single from a good ball, and if a bad ball comes along, you get it into the gap for perhaps a 4 or a 3 or a 2.
That's an interesting point, Owais. When you were playing it, it's interesting that philosophy. You'll hear of batsmen talking about the first thing I think about is 6, then 4, then singles, 2s. One of the interesting things towards the tail end of my career playing with Hansi Cronje, again in one of these mid-wicket sessions, he asked me, and that's pulled away handsomely. A very short ball from Simi Singh, and gets what it deserves. Just stood up to be hit, and that's what happened. Shahidi,
a great shot, and all because of beautiful footwork, manages to get this bait back, and then gives himself that little bit of time to whack the ball over mid-wicket for 4 runs.
خلک د کرکټ ډېر شوقیان دي او د فوټبال
او د پاکستان نور شوق
موږ افغانستان کې پرتګالو شوق زیات دی
پاکستان کې بلوچستان مې کوي
Probably an easy single there again, Owais. End of the 27th, 111 for 3.
Chara wala kara.
اول شاهد د پاکستان
نه دی وړه کټ دی یاره دې په خپل حالت کې دی
نه نه راځي
نه So again, according to your plan, Owais, Boyd Rankin 2 overs, 12 balls. Did a reasonable job, and it was interesting just with what we talked about. And we see a wee bit more attacking thought processes. It might have been a bit better. So Andy McBride comes back.
Yes, I thought it was a good bit of captaincy just to get his premier bowler back into the attack and see if he can perhaps get a wicket. Now we're back to the off-spin of McBride, who's bowled reasonably well. He's sort of plugged away. They haven't quite got after him, which he'll be quite happy with. Mind you, in the last over of Simi Singh, we saw a little bit of urgency from Shahidi, so perhaps, just perhaps, they're starting to change. They're trying to realise that, look, we have been in for a while. Both faced plenty of balls. Shahidi's nearly reaching 30 balls that he's faced. He's seeing it well, and perhaps it's his opportunity here to take the attack to the Irish bowlers.
That my McBride. I think there's of what I've watched of Afghanistan in ODI cricket, in many cases, they've had this hitting philosophy, and we've seen them 150 for 7, 150 for 8, and perhaps, it may be something that Phil Simmons, has talked to, because they can all hit. If we can have wickets in hand going into the last 10 overs, is it going to be more profitable for us than asking which are the well capable, the Zadrans, the Rashid Khans, who are putting on these partnerships towards the end. So it will be very interesting to see how this game unfolds.
And yes, I totally agree with you. And it's pretty obvious that they have spoken about this. But I think the Afghanistani batsmen are taking that a bit too far. They've forgot about their natural strength, which is to hit boundaries. But then, like I mentioned earlier, when the good ball is bowled, that's the one you try and get a single off. Or if you have managed to get a boundary early or in the over, then you go and settle for your singles.
Well, particularly as well for the right-hander, we haven't seen a sweep shot yet. Not that I'm a huge man in favour of for one run with the wrist out of there, but just getting offside of the ball and pushing it on the leg side, a huge big space here. And again, a bad ball from McBride. And again, last ball of the over, 28 gone, 118 for 3.
بايرول بسكرين من الأول ما هيك ولا مثلا كارشيا كسان وراني جبل كده مكمل خطر بسكرين فري سكرين بلا جو دخل جنب ما يجي يبغى بدل إذا بسار بيجي خطرات الدار انجينا وايد ما كده ODI record in 2018 अफगानिस्तान मैच 12 विन 8 लास्ट दी 10 7 विन 3 दाखो मजबूत
That's an interesting graphic, Oasis. I wouldn't have bet on that, but of course I was forgetting the World Cup adventure where Afghanistan lost their first 3 games extraordinarily and eventually ended up qualifying for the World Cup, and perhaps the nation outside that loop was Scotland, who've had such a good run and of course beat England in that famous ODI up in Scotland. Wonderful game of cricket, brilliant performance by them, and probably overall have been, let's call it so-called minnows, have been the performing team, but they're not at a World Cup. And again, just looking at that last ball of the over, such a frustration when you've looking to save an over, that last ball of the over going for 4. So Chase is in. Of course, Oasis, many of our audience won't know you played against some of the emerging talent that Ireland played, giving them piece on how to play spin bowling more effectively and whatnot. Anything there that you like this signs of from an Irish perspective?
Yeah, so my friends run a training camp, you can call it, it's called the Future Stars. Chap called David Allain and Scott Newman, who are both ex-Middlesex players, and they just asked me if I could possibly come in and have a bat against the young academy side, I think, or the emerging side, I think you call it, against the Irish. And I popped in and had a bat against your emerging cricketers, which was a lot of fun. I in fact came across a young chap. I think he's a 17-year-old leg spinner. I'm not quite sure what his name is.
JJ Garth, I would assume.
I think that sounds about right. I think that's him. And he impressed me a lot. What impressed me about him as a 17-year-old was his control over the leg spin. He knew what field he wanted to. He knew how he wanted to bowl at me, which was the second impressive thing.
Well fielded there from Kevin O'Brien, but always, yeah, please.
And then the last impressive thing that was when I was moving around the crease, which is what I like to do when I play and try and put the spinners off. He kept his cool, and he was moving the fielders around and not really letting me get away with what I wanted to do. So that the 3 impressive things that stood out for me for a 17-year-old to be able to do that. I was very impressed, and I would love to have seen him perhaps in your 2020 squad or your one-day international squad, or even be around the main squad.
Well, it's something that will have caught the eye of the selectors of that, there's no doubt. He had a very good week because they also played an emerging Scotland team, and again, you know, this anxiety to get wrist spin in all your teams. Rashid for England. Obviously, most of the Asian teams carrying a wrist spinner. Australia, and again, he's got a lot of problems. Went to the World Cup with the under-19s and is blossoming, and had a very good series against Bangladesh. So it's interesting that you make those comments.
But it's important for teams like Ireland, like Afghanistan, to have a potential match winner in their wings. Those guys can really cause an upset, regardless how strong the opposition is. They can always cause an upset.
Oh, and that's a big hit. And that's gone all the way for 4. And to the 29th, Afghanistan 124 for 3.
دا هټر ده هغه اوس پس مطلب راوالي کنه دا د هټر
ګلرحمان دا د گیم پلان مطابق بدل کریس گیل پکې نشته راځه سي
کوم یو هم پکې نام نشته کنه هغه په ځای شفاف ده او پاکستان کې دوه رن کړو
And that will be a real frustration for Ireland. Last ball of the last 2 overs going for 4. And coupled with that will be a change in the commentary box with John Kenny and Basit Khan. Only McBride to continue from the city end. There's a fielder down there. George Dockrell, who's actually on the field. He's the substitute fielder. Not sure is off. I think is it Andy McBride? Maybe no. McBride is still there. George Dockrell's on the field.
Just a little bit of impetus now being applied from the Afghans. So Gulrahman in Sharjah against Zimbabwe, and he's very powerful through that leg side, square leg mid wicket. He's got this ability with that pickup shot and to go big. So he's got power hitting in him. Got a few power hitters down the line. It's just a matter of them deciding when it's time to really press the pedal.
Combination of left and right as well, moving the Irish field around.
کوم ټیم چې یو ټیسټ میچ وراسي سی ورکی دا هغه ولا 15 لک انډین روپے کیس ورکړي انډین پاکستاني لګي زیاتې راځي
Last ball of the previous 2 overs going for 4.
The referee now the team
Afghanistan just working the ball around nicely. Tim Murter, we're told, is off the field presently. There's opening bowler. It's George Dockrell fielding mid-wicket at the moment. George Dockrell not considered today, along with James Shannon and David Delaney. That's the end of the over. 30 down, 127 for 3.
There's 30 overs gone for Afghanistan, 127 for 3.
पाकिस्तान विक्ट्री खत्म को करना
اتری دوی کنه کړه وکنه ختم کوی
पाकिस्तान पे केस को पाकिस्तान केस को अफ्रीका में सब श्रीलंका या फौरी जबरदस्त है या बने वक्त जो कि पाकिस्तान होना लिया सर खत्म है कोई सीधी इधर बस्ता वजी लेकिन दी होता मतलब वो जब दोनों घाटी पैसे तो
Plenty of income for Afghanistan. That's a projection there. There's 6 and over. We'll take them close to 250. Afghanistan might fancy maybe a 270, 280. This particular juncture in the game, 30 overs gone. I think we put into bat 127 for 3. Gulrahman approaching his 50, 47 on each outs, and Shahidi on 26. Look good out there actually, Shahidi. Ramit Shah, the last man out, caught by Bob Burney, bowled Andy McBride.
هغه سیم فاینل چې د ورلد کپ مهالي کې بالکل شیر سره د تاسو انډیا په دې موالي ورو باندې سیم فاینل کې یو
really well in the T20
عمران خان ته وی ګټر علي میچ لا ته خو به خبره دا چې راول لګا
now to expand
ته ورو کې خلک تقریر جوړ
the back end I thought
به تقریر
was the go-to bowler where
د دې ملاش نه پاکستان د نن میچ کې
actually bowls at the death.
Yeah, Andy McBride his place in the team today ahead of George Dockrell. Chase tries to dig that in.
Murta back on the field now. And fielding. George Doctor gone off. Here's Murta back on the field again. Partnership of 4 this pair. Second partnership we've had. Crucial part of the game as we enter the last 20 overs of the Afghanistan innings. Good quick single, just keeping the Irish fielders on their toes.
50 قسم کابینټ ته غنا اقوام متحده کال کې یو پیر دغه شي 3 قسم دي یو عمران خان چې په خپل باندې جوړ راځي بس
نه بهر ته څوک ځي کنه څه په خبر نه د بل کنټري کا
Small enough crowd in today so far. A few Afghanistan flags around the ground. Sign him up.
عام کې وزیاغه کې وی آی پی کلاس نه بزنس کلاس هغه دغه چې دی د دیو هغه نه د خزانه هغه پرون ته ولې د سپین جامې سره هغه ایرپورټ کې سپورټ له ورکړي چې به کې سره
Ireland started off really well. Boyd ranking with that sharp bouncer.
Gulrahman دا خدا
really good reaction return catch.
غټ خلک به خو دې عوام کې څه څه باندې غټ خلک دا تنخواه خوري د اسمان مې دی چې برشتي دي نوکری کوي ته نوکری کې ولې خلک باندې شي نه
sharp caught and bowled, having away to his left-hand side there. McBride with the last wicket to fall. Ahmed Shah for 29. Bernie with the catch. Nicely paddled around the corner. Marches down there.
Just suspect that Gulrahman is now looking to get to that landmark. He's on 49 and then probably see a lot more shots from him. He is a powerful hitter.
نه به وزیر زی نه عمران خان زی نه به جج زی نه به آرمی چیف زی دا نه به راځي
Gulrahman.
انا دوري اشته
He's an ex-bodybuilder, so he will have the power. End of 31, 1-3-1 for 3.
Gulrahman Naeem and Hazmatullah Shahidi.
یو کسی ګوري په فیسبوک باندې
چینل ویډیو ته کنه
اوس په شي کوم روان دی زموږ سره هیڅ کله کې نه ډېر لوګ ځای ها چې زه به دې ډېر اپلای نه
That's the 50 for Gulrahman. It's been a very circumspect innings from Gulrahman to get to his 50 in the 32nd over. 4 fours so far, but now he's got past that landmark. Chance perhaps for him to push on and attack the Irish bowling over the remaining 18 overs of this Afghanistan innings. Put into bat this morning. William Porterfield winning the toss. Well supported at the other end by Shahidi, who's 28 not out.
50 of 86. Once you do that, once you consume a lot of balls, sort of set yourself up to catch up with that strike rate at the back end of your innings. Maybe he's built himself up with that, and maybe we see a lot more shots now. And probably hoping to end up with a strike rate nearing 100. Right now he's going at 58.
1-6 in this innings from Zaza early on. 14.
دا حضرت الله under 19 نه راغلی دی کنه
picking their shots.
دا په
Keeping the scoreboard ticking over.
لاور قلندر خپل دا شروع
To the end of the 32nd over.
ته داس خبرې مې اورېدې وای
ګلګیت په کې
نه لاور قلندر وای
Trade 29 off 43. Gulrahman in now on 50. Facing.
نړۍ به خاري شروع بیا بیا شروع کړي
That's ball of the 32nd. Afghanistan 1-3 for 3.
سم نه بل ما په یوټیوب کې وارول او چې لاور قلندر بر روان کپتان محمد نبی هغه سره خبر
وستنی ګلګیت بلتستان دا پنځه به شروع یالته ګل خپل ټیم وته مکمل نو الته چې اندازه وکړه چې دې څلور بدران کې استفاده پیسو خبرو سره شو
بلاره مې د څه بلار پیدا کړی
دا چې پیدا کړی دی
لکه څه دفتر
بل په قسمت دی دا سره ډېر پاکستان چې کوم دا آیل د پټرول دی ملکون نه دي کنه دته زی دا علي بیا پاکستان باندې خاصه دونه غټ بزنسمن دی
1-3-4 for 3.
I see دا کې او بل په سی ال کې دا صحت نشته وای
And there was a call this morning when Afghanistan announced their team. That's Gulrahman's 50, some nice shots. Just 4 boundaries in his 50. Important innings for Afghanistan. Maybe now a chance for him to open up his shoulders, but a big call this morning. Zazai came in from the T20 squad and got a start and opened the innings, but big one is really Shafak in for Shahad as the wicket keeper. What's your thoughts on that?
I reckon Shahzad didn't look 100% fit in those T20 games. He's just nursing some kind of injury, wasn't moving around too well. So maybe just resting him for a bit. Can't think of any other reason because he's such a big player for the Afghans, such a character and so important to the side because he's wonderful at the top of the order and very decent behind the stump. So seen a man sitting out.
Again, Afghanistan continuing with this ploy of taking the singles when they can, working the ball around the field, moving this left-right combination. Good average.
Lots of experience, good average, and strikes the ball really well. Doesn't let the game meander, so very important for the Afghans at that top of the order.
Hold the gloves. Wear the gloves. Trying to come to bat. That's going to be the two fielders, Kevin O'Brien and Tim Marta. Shot through the covers for 4.
India.
Be a little too much bit comfort. He's saying flighting it up outside off stump and just let the left-hander extend his arms, go through with a shot. Nicely placed. Welcome boundary.
Well set now. 7 wickets in hand.
Spinner de Gulrahman.
ابو زبیر صحیح ده هغه باندې بیټینګ صحیح کیږي
33 Afghanistan 1-4-1 for 3.
سرجنه وای کدا دبي والا وای सेंटी सौ हल्का लो रंजन अलग पकड़ो
ये जो हमारा गोल है तो
अच्छा 41
د کرکټ د ټولو اهم جز چې دی وکټ نه ورځي دي اټیسټ
You can see early on that 12 in the 1 over. That's when Zazai was there, but they haven't been scoring prolifically Afghanistan since then. But with 7 wickets in hand, 33 overs bowled, 17 to go. They're in a good position. They have those wickets in hand. And these two, Shahidi and Gulrahman at this stage, look well set. But they need, from Afghanistan's point of view, just to take it on now, be aggressive over the last 17 overs.
Probably discussed a target, a total score. With their spinners coming into play, just making sure that they don't sell themselves short, making sure that they get to that 250. Platform set. Built up the situation in where they can now attack.
Oh, yes.
A lot about that last game between these sides when Afghanistan defeated Ireland by 5 wickets in March in that winner-take-all Super Sixes game for that place in the World Cup. The game in Harare. Before that, though, they had a mini ODI series in Sharjah. It was in December of last year. Afghanistan won the first game quite well, a comprehensive win by 138 runs. But then Paul Sterling really came to the fore for Ireland in the second game. Won by 51 runs, and then Ireland won the third by 5 wickets. George Dr. Bowell in that particular game as well. Shot down the ground, and that's going for 4. One hop over the ropes, and now just feel Afghanistan feel it's time to put the foot on the pedal.
Mid off in the circle. There's always a gap there. Nicely in control, didn't try to overhit it. Just made sure that he found the gap down the ground.
Fuller delivery that time. Boyd Rankin is down there though. Long bit on. 34 gone. 148 for 3.
Taliban are done.
10 over spell, 10 overs, no means 1 for 46.
دا د بلا عمر د خاندان څوک پاتې شته غني زنانه یا واره یا څه پیڅ مشته
Teams records here in Stormont. Afghanistan 1-2 lost to, of course, to Ireland. Oh, that's stumping attempt by Niall O'Brien. Whips off the bails. He's gone upstairs. The umpire. Sharp bit of work by Niall O'Brien. Safe foot behind the line. We're just making sure. Just checking the front foot. No problem there from Simi Singh. Foot on the line, just behind the line. I think he's okay.
Nice piece of bowling though, just lowered it up a little, flighting it outside the off stump. Gulrahman looks safe enough.
Paul Reynolds is the third umpire, communicates to the field. And what we saw from our own eyes, that was not out. But a good piece of bowling by Singh and a good sharp piece of work by Niall O'Brien. Now with the gloves, Gary Wilson is the wicketkeeper for the T20 Internationals, the T20 captain now. Niall O'Brien has given up the shorter form of the game. Clipped away, and it's got to beat Boyd Rankin down there, is it? Just pulls it back short of the ropes. No, he doesn't. Vain attempt. Valiant attempt. Doesn't quite come off. And that's 4 runs for Afghanistan.
At this stage, a little dangerous bowling that wide outside the off stump. It's got more fielders on the leg side. Outside edge, but it's raced away. It's only one man behind square on the offside.
Couldn't cut it off. 15-4 is just the 1-6 earlier on from Zazai. Trying his best to keep it in, but once it got behind him, hit his leg and rolled over the boundary ropes. Couldn't get that 6'7" frame down in time. That's the comparison now of the 50s deliveries. Afghanistan have scored last ball before the drinks break. It's a single, 35 overs gone, and Afghanistan at this point 50 to go, or 154 for 3.
یو شی ورکوم وي او د چیک کوم چې دا شی دی دا یې قیمت دی دا قیمت کړل څه شی او چې دا ډېر ښکلی لوښی یاره لاړه خبره ورله دوی ورو لاړ او ورې وټکه جنې راووته چې دا شی دې مات کړی دا مې کولی هغې مونږ دې مات کړی و مات کړی یې ښه دې بې رنګي عرب شو همدور لرې ورواز چې راووت هغه چې خبره ده بالکل شنه ټماټر پرته ما ته راګه چې څه نقصان شي غریب دی یو شي ته دې ما کې ټول مزدوري کې دي تاونه شي پوره کولای ما کړه تاسو کور کې مات شوی اول خبره خدای راځي شي اړین وړو یې لګي پسې وینا نه مړه دا واغه دا داسې کوم ما یې راستا خبر ته مو کنه دوه کسان نور مستنی دي ته لازم و کې دا کور کې چې دې ضرورت نشته وړوکې پسې را لګي وړوکې مات کی ته څنګه مې یاره سختي کې راځي دا خبره نه کوي دا یو منلې سړی دې به سپری کوي نیمه تاوان کې وایي اچې ورکو نیمه یو منلې مته چې دې ځوان خبرې کوي یو خبره پزما کوي قانون ته نه ده فضل جلال کدا چې ما چې دې افغانستان سره ظلم شه بیا قانون دا ورګرځي بالکل یې څنګه څنګه پاکستان پولیس ته کتل کې پولیس لا بالکل ته جیل له وړه ستاره ته پوسټینګ کړل ستاره خبره مغسته استاد ظلم کړل معمولی دا کې چرته نه کړای ظلم ورته یو موږ له دې ساتلې پکوټه کې سپینګره سره اتیا خپل اتیا او 120 موږ د خلکو د سواد د خلکو د کولې کار د خلکو کار 220 کې 30 ویزا به اخیسته ونیاست.
We're on our second drinks break here in Stormont in Belfast. Gulrahman Cup. First one-day international between Ireland and Afghanistan. Ireland winning the toss, winning Port to be the captain, deciding to put Afghanistan into bat. 15 overs to go. Afghanistan 154 for 3.
Claro, Runeo, Dietary was pretending to actually visit the
Ireland is quite good.
Maha, there is a machine shot and super Cabandi, Aqua, De,
it's been the fast bowlers who have been quite impressive.
The less visible can be.
3 wickets to fall.
Extra bounce, steepling bounce.
Yara, she could have been the
It'll look comfortable, it'll look in control at all. Ranking. But a terrific return catch. Ball just sticking in the pitch. Early into the shot, but reaction. Called ball.
What is and
then the off spinner too early into the short ram and charge, leading edge, popping it up to cover. Slow wicket.
Delight for Andy McBride. 148 in his 10 overs. He's done so far, and that's their projection. 6 and over would take Afghanistan close to 250. Looking perhaps around the 270 mark. Few Afghanistan flags by the scoreboard end of the ground away to our left-hand side. Arrive here for the Civil Service Cricket Club in Stormont in Belfast for this first one-day international between two brand new test-playing full member nations. Boyd Rankin's bowled 6 over. He's coming back now from the city end. Ireland trying to get a wicket just to break up this left-right combination and take Afghanistan to 154-3. Crucial part of the game, last 15 overs. Ireland need to contain, Afghanistan need to break it.
जो अगनास स्पिंगर है जामुन ने मां बच्चा आवली
losing wickets in clusters. Saw this in the T20 series. Lost wickets very quickly. Ireland won't take heart in that. At the moment, probably everything going according to plan for the Afghans, because they'll be looking at somewhere between 250 to 70 to give their spinners chance to starve the opposition. They back the spinners all the time. And once they get runs on the board, bowling second is their strength.
Captain Afghan said at the toss that he won the toss, he would have batted anyway. So both seems happy. Ford decided to... he's given it. It looked a little high to me, but Boyd Rankin makes the breakthrough. And Gulrahman is gone. Just about to say that Porterfield decided to put Afghanistan into bat, so both teams were happy, and they'll be happier now. Boyd Rankin second wicket.
Gulrahman not happy at all. Thought that maybe that was going over. Boyd Rankin digging in, didn't necessarily high, but yeah, tough decision. 64 he goes for, 155 for 4.
ना गुररहमान सिस्टम पर किसने उतरा आगे टीमों मर्जी दा टीमों ने मुझे यार रिव्यू क्यों या वेने क्यों सिस्टम उस रस्ते आप से ना बहुत मुश्किल दा टीम मर्जी ना कप्तान है असगर
The batsman for Afghanistan is the captain number 44, Ashgar Afghan.
155 for 4, and the captain makes his way to the middle after the dismissal of Gulrahman for 64. Best of 101 for Ashgar Afghan in his 87th one-day international, but got to question that last decision by Mark Hawthorne, the umpire at the city end of the ground. To the naked eye, that looked high. Get a look at it now in a second. As the captain takes guard, change in the field. Oh, Sterling trumps over to short mid-wicket. Tim Murchie goes down to long off. Porterfield into extra cover. Immediately the captain is off the mark, but that last decision looks a bit dubious, I thought.
You said naked eye looked too high. I think from the camera's eye it also looked too high. Just looked as if the ball didn't bounce as much, but it still bounced enough to be going over the top.
Over the top.
Fairness, wasn't a great shot. But it hit him on the hip to be going over the top.
This is good from Ireland. Porterfield just getting the fielders in. Got a wicket, they need to drive a little bit of momentum home. Maybe get another couple of wickets to throw this Afghanistan innings off track. Slip is in.
Well, we did say that the Afghanistan side lost wickets quite quickly in the middle overs of the T20, but I suppose once they were, chasing runs in a T20 game, but they are a little vulnerable in that middle order. It's a welcome wicket for Ireland.
Run.
36 gone. 57 for 4.
काबे स्पिन कामयाब न शो पे अच्छा बजी दूसरा दिन 4:30 एक दो ही नहीं चला वाला ये दो ही नहीं चला वाला नरे लटे वाला 5 बजे रही जोरा बड़ा
bowling figures for Ireland. No surprise, Tim Murtagh. Always consistent in green. Tim has been obviously an outstanding career. Boyd Rankin also, and perhaps Kyle, you know, that period you spoke about earlier, spinners really not harnessing at home as much as they should have done, and you begged, as an example, mid-on and mid-off to be up, particularly at the early part of Shahidi's innings.
Well, for me, Alan, you know, he's at 38 now, off 53 balls, and he's barely had to take a risk. I think he's come down and hit one ball over extra cover. He's hit a few short balls. He's pulled them for 4, but other than that, he hasn't had to do anything himself.
And would you have said, Carl, that's something, as your career obviously as the premier off-spin bowler for Ireland for many years, that you developed that, you know, because again, in the time that I played, there was more of a defensive attitude from our spin bowlers, but you always seem to be that bit more attacking, varying pace, angles, different things in an effort to get the batsman thinking.
Well, my job was to try and bowl 10 tight overs in the middle of the innings and pick up a couple of wickets. I would have never, very rarely would I have had a man on the cover boundary. For me, that's a bad ball as an off-spinner. Now, the game has changed, Alan, in the sense that, you know, the reverse sweep. Batters are now more proficient at hitting you through there, and also there were periods in the game when I could bowl with an extra man out. So the game has changed.
I think that's very fair, Kyle. I think we must respect that the game has changed. As you say, reverse sweeps, switch hits, all these sorts of things now commonplace in T20 and ODI cricket, making it even harder for spinners. And of course, that extra batsman, or extra fielder I should say, could be in the deep.
Can't hit you from there, buddy.
The fundamental for me as an off-spinner was always, as a batter, what would I least like the bowler to do? So I always tried to put myself in the mind of the batsman, and if you're on naught and you've just lost a wicket, you don't want to give him an easy single just to dead bat at the cover or to knock it down the ground for one. You've got to make them take that risk.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And again, we spoke earlier when Oasis was here of when Boyd came back, maybe get a short leg in. You know, this press for wickets, biggest run saver you have is taking wickets. At 160 for 4, with what Afghanistan have in the tank, they'll be certainly looking at a minimum of 250 unless they go through this range of losing wickets quite regularly. And again, there should never be one there. Paul Sterling sluggish off the mark. And that's the end of the 37th. Afghanistan 161 for 4.
Turning the ball from the starboard end, number 28, Peter Chase.
So another change of bowling, Kyle. Peter Chase coming back. I've been reasonably impressed with Peter today. I think he's bowled pretty well.
He'll be grateful to get a chance to come downwind. He's pulled most of his overs into the breeze.
And there we are. Don't blush, Kyle. ODI career for you, batting average at 20, 39 wickets, average at 30.
They always say good players or good all-rounders have a higher batting average than a bowling average, don't they? So I fall down significantly there.
I think I might join you in that department. Oh dear. Again, just sloppiness from Ireland there. Another single given away. Understandably, Gary Wilson went well in, really.
I dare say Shahidi needs to be careful. You don't want to run out your captain. There was a bit of a stir there, as if to say, there's a single. And this is what it's all about, isn't it? The next generation, young boys inspired, young boys and girls inspired to want to take up this great game and be the future stars.
Not many will know this, of course, Kyle. At the start of your career, with me, you started as an opening batsman, and I think you held up the rear end at certain times in an Irish team when you became the premier spinner. I think there's been one or two of those in international cricket. Richardson the other way around, I think, for New Zealand. But you're absolutely right. This is, again, what it's all about. And again, part of the great growth that we've had since that famous World Cup that you were involved in, lucky enough to be involved in, and a massive growth in the game.
Another single, worked down to third man.
Again, if we look at the history, Kyle, of these matches between the two teams, and perhaps some of the mistakes that Afghanistan have made, you know, they've been full of that range of shots that we saw in the T20s, but again, difficult to recover from 140 for 7, relying on their latter order, who are also very good, the Rashid Khans, the Zadrans. And it's interesting there, he is #1 ODI bowler, T20 bowler in the world, fantastic to watch.
Askar Afghan filling the ball with ease to semi-swing it deep backward square leg. I think you look at the context of the game, I think Afghanistan will be very satisfied with where they're currently sitting. You know, with 12 overs to go, they'll be hoping to take that score well in excess of 250, and they'll place a lot of faith in their world-class spin bowling attack. So Ireland have a lot of work to do.
I think maybe you were saying it earlier or whatnot, they've just got such an insatiable appetite to hit sixes that in training they tried to stop them, and the only way John Mooney and Simmer were going to do it, if they did do it, they'd have to run 6.
Good delivery from Peter Chase. End of the 30th over. Afghanistan 164 for 4.
So there we are, interestingly poised. Afghanistan will be looking to get themselves around 250 plus. As Tim Murtagh comes back into the attack.
Tim Murtagh.
Shahidi, who's played a big role here, 41 from 60. And Askar, the captain, has been in this sort of situation many, many times. And will know exactly what he's doing. And certainly a minimum of 250 is what Afghanistan will be eyeing up here.
Yeah, the key to the success has been the fact that their entire middle order have contributed. They haven't lost wickets in clusters, and they've set a very good platform. So Ireland going to their most experienced bowler, Tim Murtagh. Key little spell in the game. For Tim, never really going to get the ball with the wind, is he? Ball's going to come out backwards.
It's just gone very fine there. And an easy two. Tim Murtagh will be disappointed. Just not hitting a strap, something he's very used to. He's been a fantastic bowler for Ireland, Kyle, since he came into the scene. A wonderful guy and a great team man.
Very skillful bowler.
And again, interesting to see them looking to get offside of the ball there. Square, Paul Sterling straight as at mid-wicket. Lots of open areas there on the leg side.
It's well fielded from Paul Sterling. At times the Irish fielding today has been a little bit scrappy, a little bit disappointing.
Again, that's better from Tim Murtagh.
Ireland obviously started with a drop catch from Paul Sterling at slip, but it's crucial in terms of the Irish attack that the bowlers are supported by the fielders, most unlike William Porterfield. Again, two fielders arguably diving over the ball, and there've just been a number of these, and it just at times just takes that pressure off.
Very good running there from Afghanistan.
Alan, would you like to see Niall O'Brien up to the stumps at this stage? You know, you see Asghar Afghan, he's moving all around the crease, he's coming down the pitch. You know, Tim Murtagh has great control, he doesn't have any great pace, which is Niall O'Brien standing back now. I think with the shine taken off the ball, it's less likely he's going to be bowling for caught behinds and caught in the slips. Create that little bit of pressure, like, you know, the old days when Jack Russell and Gloucester did it.
Very fair point. In fact, most of the time to his brother he spent up to the stumps, and you could hardly say at this bowling into the breeze, he's bowling a lot slower than as Kevin would have done. I think it's a great balancing act, but certainly at this stage, from the point of view of pressure, those little singles in and around the stumps, you can stop, and just that presence, you know yourself as a batsman, they're just an annoyance more than anything else. And he'll be in your ear.
Well, it's about encroaching into the batsman's space, isn't it? Get the ball fizzing around, make the batter uncomfortable, create pressure that way.
So that's the end of the 39th. Afghanistan 168 for 4. So, Afghan support here for their team, always, as we say, very colourful. Everyone dressed up looking well. And why wouldn't they be? Test status, going to a World Cup. Cricket-loving nation. Great attitude to the game with the way they play.
Another change from the City end. Boyd Rankin back into the attack. And how many balls have we seen worked successfully down to third man?
Oh. Dear, oh dear. This day cricket. Wow.
First class cricket now.
Dear me. Surprised with that. I thought it was a wee bit higher average than that, but there we are. I don't know where the statisticians are there. They must have the wrong Lewis.
You played uncovered pitches, did you?
Are you slagging my grey hair?
Well worked off the stumps from Asghar Afghan, just staying deep in the crease, using Boyd Rankin's pace. And he's moved nicely to 9 off 13 balls, rotated the strike well since he's come in. As you can see, just moving deep into his crease, trusting the bounce on the pitch.
Boyd Rankin's done a real good job here for his team. Interestingly, he's bowling here with 4 fielders on the leg side. I'd certainly like to see one more over in that area, as you call it, Kyle, where there's been easy singles steered down to that gully region. Third ball. And you wondered why I didn't want to see short leg in there. Maybe have a look at this.
Dug in. Both feet off the ground. Hasn't kept his eye on the ball at all. Perhaps not necessarily used to play against somebody of Boyd Rankin's height.
He's bowled with a very good rhythm today, Boyd Rankin. Really has done a good job for his team. Here are his wickets, and again that crowd's causing trouble, as we saw. Again, a very dubious LBW. Did seem a little bit high, but adjudged LBW by the umpire Mark Hawthorne. Brings us to the end of the 40th. Afghanistan 170 for 4. Signal again from Ian Gould.
So last 10 overs for Afghanistan.
We move into the 41st over. Power play number 3.
Turning the ball for Ireland, number 21.
Bowlers used, as you can see. Singh with 8 for 38, coming back into the attack. But the two outstanding bowlers really have been up front with Rankin and Murtagh. So
I think you'll see Asghar taking him on now.
I actually was going to say it'll be a very important 2 overs this for Simi Singh, because I would have exactly the same sentiments as you, Kyle. I'll be looking to take Simi Singh on.
Yeah, well, I'm just a little curious. I would have expected Afghanistan hitting with a very strong breeze. It's almost a half hit. You know, I was chatting to Kevin O'Brien on the boundary, says only a half hit down towards the Dundonald Road end, and they've been just content to knock him around. Just in the background there at the chip van, that's Clarence Hiles. He's the current president of the Northern Cricket Union. In the foreground, Stephen Dyer, former representative cricketer himself and a lifelong member of Civil Service North Cricket Club.
Again, clever cricket from Afghanistan there. And again, questionable that feel you need to be in off the boundary rope there. But it's a long boundary out there, Kyle. I think there's been no doubt that Ireland probably requested them to be as long as they could be.
Under Paul Burney in quickly from long on.
Better anticipation there from Andrew Balbirnie. Shahidi recognising that, only taking one.
One of Simi Singh's variations, a very round arm delivery, not trying to spin it. Tend to give Asghar the single.
Notice that.
Quite a unique bowler, Simi Singh. Quite unorthodox. He bowls across the seam a lot of the time.
Cheer number three, cutting on the Indian. I have Salan now, is the Batetaradu. Chivatita Rodera is Kira Rodeza Gozaji. Data Manzara, duty at Masheva. Manzata Yuba Terasa. We don't know. Mubana doesn't know Shatter the interlock when the Bera came. Whether it has the Haber.
चालू वाला बा
वाला maham bene gi maham bene chho bola khona maham bene khol gi khora
no basta
hello hello
Karungas बेगाना बोले क्या मैं रोटे खोल ले उसमें खड़ा घर में उस चरा लमा नहीं मैं रोटे में अच्छी से खोल दिया दोष पे
डबले
योवानी में औरत में रोटे नो
ज़म यो टेम तो शेम बस माँ का मतलब रोटे बंद नहीं इंदरे दाटे में बस खाता लेकिन बस ये हो पेरा
करूँ घर में दो समोसे पड़े हैं इस तरह हमारे इंडियन समोसे
अरे पंजाबियों का रहे बड़े इंडियनों का रहे सो पड़े बाकी में छत गुजारे की
सैंडविच गुल के सैंडविच तो देखो ले करता है ना गम खोड़ ले दो समोसे बड़े समोसे दे इंडियन वाला
समोसे बड़ा खर्ची सरा से पड़ी
वेजिटेबल
और एक्टिविटीज
Tim Murtagh, and the fielder's certainly not making Niall Brand's job any easier for him. Just in the last over, Louis, you had mentioned the term that Simi Singh sold Andy McBride the dummy. He's missed it. Andy McBride's bought the dummy. The regulations and rules have changed. That the laws of cricket no longer allow you to dummy in the field. Could result in a penalty of 5 runs. Not in this particular set of circumstances, but possibly in the future.
That's very good cricket, and it brings 50 runs for Shahidi, and he's batted very, very well. Laid the foundation here for Afghanistan. 74 balls with 3 boundaries, and he'll be very pleased with his captain there. 50 not out, and he's played very, very well.
Yep, he's been allowed to play very well, Alan. Only 3 boundaries in his 50. Again, I just hope that Ireland don't look back to regret the fact that they allowed him to get the 10 to 15. That they allowed him to get going without taking any risks whatsoever. Guy who's finding his way in the national side. Obviously feeling the pressure. You can see the relief in his face there, the smile, the hug from his captain. And the pair of them will be looking now to up the run rate in the closing.
So we'll have another look at this. Simi Singh making the dive clearly, not really anywhere near the ball, and he's sold to his own player. Maybe Andy McBride knows more than Simi Singh in that regard.
Simi Singh in the game again. Certainly Ashgar is looking to take on Tim Murtagh. He got himself set there, opened up the left leg, attacking the leg side boundary.
And again clearing that left leg. Something that we saw a lot of in the T20 series, Kyle. Zazai in particular. But
do you think, Alan, what we'll find now is that Shahidi will continue to anchor the things and let his captain start to play that aggressive role?
Well, that's precisely what he should be doing.
What did I know, Alan? Straight next ball, down the wicket he comes, takes his risk. That's again another reason why. End of the over. 42 gone, Afghanistan 182 for 4.
Shahidi playing a big part in this building and recovery of Afghanistan's batting performance. Very valuable 50 runs for his team, and you're absolutely right, Kyle. He will, and I'm talking like anchor roll, there's 8 overs to go. He doesn't really need to do anything for the next 4 or 5 overs, but you can be sure Asghar will. And that's very well bowled, as you say, by Simi Singh. And again, he'll be eyeing up Simi Singh, Asghar here.
That's excellent bowling from Simranjit Singh. I would have bet my mortgage here that this over was going to be an over that Asghar would look to target, and he's managed to rein him in for the first 2 balls. Must keep his concentration, look for some tails, look for some cues in the batter's setup. There he goes, he's miscued it. Just rolls gently down to Kevin O'Brien, who fumbles it at long on, but it's still only a single. Excellent bowling from Simranjit Singh.
Interesting, but Kevin O'Brien hasn't had a huge amount to do down here today, which is perhaps another symptom of what you're talking about, Kyle. And again, down the wicket, not timing it, but down to Kevin O'Brien at long on. In actual fact, having watched a lot of Simi Singh, he's generally very good at these sorts of stages, and he's done a good job. These last 2 balls so important for his team.
Must close out the over. Excellent shot from Shahidi. Come down just inside the ball, allowed him to open up his arms and hit over extra cover for 2 runs.
I'm surprised he hasn't used that area a lot more. He's got a good foundation, balance, technique, and again you'll see the execution. He gets inside the ball, as you say, Colin, gets it aerial over, extra cover there. Good shot.
And you'd mentioned Simi Singh very productive at this time. That little pause he has in his delivery stride. Knocked down the long on. end of the 43rd over. Shahidi keeps the strike, and Afghanistan are 186 for 4.
Simi Singh finishes his spell. 10 overs, no maidens, none for 50. Bowling change for Ireland. The Storming end number 20, Peter Chase.
And no surprise, bowling changes aplenty. Simi Singh finishing his spell, 10 overs for 50 runs. And Peter Chase back into the attack.
Chase coming into the attack to replace Tim Murtagh is the 4th consecutive change at the city end. Obviously, Captain William Porterfield trying just to not allow the batsmen to settle, keep changing the offerings from the Irish bowlers, and it's been relatively successful so far, Alan.
Yes, it has. It's been something, funnily enough, in the T20 format I've questioned. Oh, and that's skirted away. Fantastic bit of feeling. We're kind of a bit obscured here from our commentary position, but it looked to us to go fine, but it's been collected there. It's only 1 run. Andrew Balbirnie picking that up, but it would be something that in the T20 series, I remember back to the India game, Boyd Rankin's first over went for 1. You'd be kind of thinking, you know, I might get another over, go another over. And then I was very interested to see perhaps the 2 best T20 bowlers from them in the world, Kumar and Bumrah, bowled 2 each. You know, it's just these sorts of things. Bowlers' confidence, it's massive.
Ashgar deep in his crease again, clears that left leg effectively and pushes Peter Chase through wide mid-on, out of the reach of Boyd Rankin, and the charge is on, Alan.
Definitely is. Probably prefer to see Boyd Rankin in the circle, perhaps in mid-off. It's always a very difficult period for William Porterfield. There's 1 or 2 fielders that aren't the most fleetest of foot in this Irish setup, and it's difficult.
Big shot. And it's gone all the way over Gary Wilson's head for a maximum. Peter Chase under big pressure. The Afghan captain means business.
He certainly does, and as you say, Kyle, again, deep in the crease. And that's a big hit out there. But again, how they've set this game up for themselves. Look how deep in the crease he is there. And, you know, one would have thought this was the type of thing they did right throughout the T20 games. Try and get that ball as full as you can.
And again, it's a chance.
And easily taken down there in a deep square leg by Paul Stirling. So Asghar not happy for whatever reason.
Asghar not wishing to depart. Going to have a look at the front foot of Peter Chase. Absolutely no issue there at all. That's going to be the end of Asghar Afghan. A little cameo. He's going to depart for 25, safely held by Paul Stirling. Afghanistan 197 for 5.
Asghar Afghan was caught. Stirling bowled Chase for 25. The new batsman for Afghanistan is number 7, Mohammed Nabi.
And here's Mohammed Nabi making his way to the crease, a man who definitely knows where the boundary ropes and Stormont are.
This is his 99th one-day international. A big, strong man, great header of the ball, and he'll be looking to clear the rope. Peter Chase beats Shahidi's outside edge. Here's a look at the wicket. Banged in, got it outside off stump this time, and he's just not quite timed it straight to the grateful hands of Paul Sterling. Much to Peter Chase's delight. And the onus now on Shahidi, who's 54 from 80 balls. He's going to have to start to make serious inroads in terms of his scoring rate.
Must be listening to you, Kyle. That's the end of the over. 44 gone, 197 for 5.
Turning to ball from Eton on Rodin, number 34, Tim Murtagh.
Another bowling change. Obviously, this time definitely required. Tim Murtagh coming back at the Dundonald end. So, really important 6 overs this for both teams, Oase.
Certainly is, even more so for the Irish, who have, in my view, done a very good job to keep the Afghanistani team down to 198 for 5 as we enter the 45th over.
Do you put that down to Ireland's bowling, or just that bit when we were speaking previously, that lack of maybe urgency from the Afghans themselves?
Look, I'd say probably a bit of both. I think Afghanistan players, in my view, the batters, Gulrahman especially, was guilty of just looking to go along and just looking for ones without looking to have the urgency in his game. I didn't feel he was looking for boundaries, and, you know, still got to give Ireland the credit.
And that's the end of Shahidi. Easy chance, very soft dismissal, and he'll be very disappointed with that. And that's something that we spoke about earlier. Afghanistan's ability to lose wicket in clusters, but they've now moved. As we see it again, just getting it high on the bat and offering an easy catch to Balbirnie, and Murtagh a happy man. And they are 198 for 6.
As Matilda Shahidi was caught Balbirnie, bowled Murtagh for 54. New batsman for Afghanistan is number 28, Shafiqullah Shafaq.
So, Shafiq makes his way to the wicket. And there is the new batsman, Shafiqullah Shafiq. So, as you say, Oase, this good from Ireland now, 6 wickets down.
Yeah, Ireland have done well here. Tim Murtagh coming back into the attack, picking up the wicket of Shahidi. A slow ball, wraps his finger around the ball, gets it into the deck, and we know that the pitch, the way it's played, it's sort of been a bit tennis ball. He's stopping into the wicket, and all Shahidi would manage to do was toe the ball straight to mid-wicket. So that's the end of Shahidi. He's played a very good innings, I must admit, for 54. Now all eyes will be on Nabi. He's going to be trying to use all his experience. He's played a little bit of county cricket this summer. He's been around a while, and Afghanistan will be looking to him for a strong finish.
Played around the world, of course, Owais, Mohammad Nabi, in a lot of the T20 competitions, and there we are in the last 5 years. So experienced.
Well, he's having a very good 2018. He's averaging nearly 40. Afghanistan. Well, I don't think he'll be troubling the scorers anymore. That's the end of Nabi, who's managed to get a leading edge. Again, 2 extra cover. He'll be frustrated, much to the delight of Tim Murtagh.
And that's a 3rd catch for Andrew Balbirnie. He won't get 2 easier catches in his international career. And it sees Afghanistan go to 199 for 7.
Nabi was caught. Balbirnie pulled Murtagh for 1.
So, number 1 bowler in the world comes in to do the other piece of skill in cricket, Rashid Khan. And a very dangerous batsman at the end of the over, as Ireland have experienced in the past. 250s to his name. Such a dangerous cricketer. And that brings us to the end of the 45th with Afghanistan 199 for 7. So a great little period for Ireland that, and to take us through to a conclusion, John Kenny and Owais Shah.
Thank you, Alan. Just the 5 bowlers used today from Ireland, and they've rotated them between the Dundonald and City End right throughout the game. Peter Chase now at the City End. Afghanistan were 197 for 4. They're 199 for 7 now. And we're into the tail. Couple of wickets in the last over for Tim Murtagh. He's taken 3 for. That's the 200 up. 200 for 7. Have another look at the wicket here. Tim Murtagh manages to get the ball to sit in the wicket and get Nabi to go through his shot a little bit early and get a leading edge to extra cover. Smart bit of bowling, and I think there's something in there. I'm pretty sure that they've had a conversation here, and if you look at the field, I've got a feeling that Peter Chase is going to try and get the ball into the deck. He's going to bowl plenty of slow balls and get Afghanistan to hit square off the wicket, which is very smart bit of cricket here from Ireland. They realise that the wicket is very stodgy, the ball is sitting in, so trying to hit squarer is that much more difficult on this pitch. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're going to go away from Yorkers now and try and hit slow balls and just back of a length slow balls as well. Four on the line from Kevin O'Brien, Simi Singh. On that offside, there's Singh, backward point. Shy of the stumps. It's the batsman on the way through. Andy McBride, a sweeper on the offside.
Yeah, you can just see in the grip there, Peter Chase, as he jumped up to deliver the ball. He wrapped his fingers around the ball, so it's very obvious they're going to go and bowl slow balls and probably slow ball bounces to get Afghanistan hitting square of the wicket. The outfield is that much bigger, square of the wicket, so it's got to be a bigger hit. It's got to be a tougher ask for them.
It's a mistake there by Niall O'Brien. Can't ducked under that ball. Didn't come up very high.
Yeah, that was another slow ball bouncer by the looks of it. So smart bit of cricket there from Ireland. Adapting to the conditions given. Here we go. There you go. Another slow ball whacked into the wicket. Hardly carrying to the wicket keeper.
Niall O'Brien disappointed. He will be disappointed and take that. Straight into the gloves now. There's a bit of scurrying to do to pick up that ball. But Ireland will be very happy the way things have gone for them in the last while. We're talking perhaps around a score of 250, 260 for Afghanistan. 204 for 7. We're coming to the end of the 46th over. Just a 5 batsmen or bowlers used from Ireland's point of view. 4 with a bit of pace, but Tim Ward is not out and out pace by any stretch of the imagination. It's banged in again. It's clever batting from Rashid Khan, just rolls it off the face of the bat down to Kevin O'Brien.
Yeah, Rashid, I think, has to really keep his cool here. Try and get a partnership going. I know we've only got just over 4 overs to go. And what Rashid Khan really has to do is try and get a partnership.
बीमार फरमा को तो किसी बीमारी खास कर देगा क्या खबर तो न को सिर्फ यो बीमारी में तो वो आ रही थी तो मुझे पूरी गाँव मुझे बीमारी ना बीमारी फुल खास
ما نعرف يعني بيبان
ماذا अब 10 के जर जरूर करा
10
जर जर को के करे तो वो सिर्फ मादिगर आदान के इस्लाम इस्लाम आदान है बेले तो खुदा घर की दादा बेवा कम अक्सर मुझे लस बजी भाई सादा दिन का दे रोक्षे से या और कुछ चाचा में
अफगानिस्तान ارلینډ
वो की लगती है रवान
افغانستان نن کله دی څه هغه څو کډین هغه نن دی کړي افغانستان اخته دی وته
ارلینډ سره کې څه خلک نه دي هغه خو د سپاس نه سپاس کسل جوړ کړ
هغه نه ارلینډ
اپیرم چا جوړ کړل سپاس
ا بند ہے ارلینډ ارلینډ دا ارلینډ
ترى دا چې څنګه اودس ته مړه بالټه کې کو چل کې دا ته شه ده به چې ته اودس کېږي چې به شروع کېږي
No, vale, yaar.
دنه شیرزمان جوړ شوی دی اوس
مقابله کوي زه ځان د هفته کې دونه بیمار یم ته حساب یې باندې پسې ډېټا کار مې نه کوو ډېټا یې وکړه
دنه شیرزمان هغه شروع کړي دي شیرزمان به څه کولی ورځ به چوټي وه ورځ به کار کوم
شاید شیرزمان
دا کروڑپتی څه دی چې یو ورځ دې کومه پکې راشي بیا ووایه چې راخه ورځ مې هسې قضا کوله یو که 11 بجې که 12 بجې چې راشي دی به موبایل به ګوري
شو بخارج في والله اني كان قبضته قنا نقول انها بدي موبايل دا غدي شت بروتو ممسك قنا بدي موبايل بارا بور بجوي خما دا فوز بيراخ كراخ بيو موبايل دوم بدي دا قنا وريدا قنا ما بقولوا كده دا اكثر ولا ولا دي انا ما دنا وقت كده دام دا بحال خیر خدای مو ته چټي کې پیدا وکړه څنګه تا د شعر کنه نو سیر نو بيخي په دغه فاجعه غزه مې دې لګا ها هغه کړي څه اجمان نه حاله شفامان بارك بس تاسو یې مته لکه شفامان ته پاتوي ځکه کنه شراغل دې مو کویزه ده کویزه ته هو بیا په کویزه خاطر مې چې دې بیا دې تاسو ما کله کله توبه دواله ولي سيد اللي بنقول سيد اللي بنقول سيانا غادي نقول سيد ذكر روسيا ها دول اختنا بوته کې داسې کوي نه دا لګېدلې وې را دوه مته شوې جومات دوی ټیم میټینګ وو په کوم څه وګورئ نو ما خلاص ټول نه ماشین نه ولاړ کې نه استاد راغی چې د پلو بشر مټه درې بجې ټول بجې زراړه ما خبر روټه موټه نو خړه او داس نیمه کومه اوس مونږ کومه کله یې چې دې لګا جومات نه غړ ایریا او یو کار کوي البته چې ودا شی مونږ نه خبره ورو په درې بجې وکړه امو ځان په امو دې نه یو یاره درته نه دا اوس لامون نه لري چا
ولا شل من هذا ودي امام فيها شيء فكر ده ده لا شيء مسكون خير وكتب بقى بوس د جنون په کار د چې د سهار نه دی پاتېدلی وای چای له داسې دوی نه ده غرمې تاسو له بیا تیاری کړی وی ماښام تیاری هم کړی وی شی هم کړی وی د سبا سهاره ماسخوتنه پورې ستا نمبر دی مړه د اختر او چای به خوړه هسې دلته کې دنبانه دې لګوله خو چای به دې پخ کړی و که نه
دا سهار راشي هغې کار ته لاړ شي هغې ته لاړ شي دې ته راشي دغه کار دی بس موبایل ورسره بهر کیني ته ښه ګده ټلیفون کوې
یه خدا سر که خوب بودی خدای خبر
نه خوب دی بیدار من نفوس بیدار دسته ټیم پاتې لرم بیا پهلوان دلته وی خو چې پاتې درې مو
ولې پاتې بیمار نه وي بیمار مو سپیندا او څه بیمار تا کې څه بیمار دی زمان دا زکام خو تام نشته
نه بیماری خو مخامخ نه خو شي نه مې بیمار
نه پاکي هغه بیماری خو ته دا خبره ټوکاله داسې پروت دی بیخي لکه روان پروت دی دا بیماری پاتې دی پرته خو دې خدای راوستي ده په کار
ما دي خبرونه دا څه بدنه کې تګ راتګ نه پته نه
تا خبرونه بعد مو ځان نه لګي سره پروت په کامبل کې پروت دی ډوب ډوب
زه څه خبرونه مطابق
ولول ورکی ته زه چراله ما ته موبایل ګور ولنار بیگم دیګا تا ته په شي راټول شي
څه پته لګي کنه چې
دا کې د پخېدونه بغیر تا یو خاصه بیماری نه ما خو زیاته تر بلا جمعه ته په پخې نه زمره
پخې دا علاج نیم د پخې نه علاج وله
دا علاج څه شي ته وایي
نه علاج د جوټي وګړه
په علاج زما ستاسو دغه ده
ټول پورې دی نه مګوا ټیک ها زموږ شانې په دې ته خدای ته نه مو خدا د بیمارانو په سیر ته ځان نسو دن آرام کولې شو
دا دنیا
کپړې باندې خپل په دیاري واړه بل دې په ځان سره کې
کپړې باندې دا بس خبره وره دا موټر دې ته پوه چې ته په سیر کې کمزور کړي نو
نه یا دلته موټر نه پي دلته موټر دغه کې دلته موټر کې هغه موټر هغه دغه په نه
څنګه موټر